We're back and ready to pour more into your marriage. You're here on the right day. Call a friend and let them know it's time for another segment of Marriage Takes Work. Hello, and welcome to another segment of Marriage Takes Work. We pray that you have been intentionally working your marriage since our last broadcast. Well, for October, we will have a series about how phones interfere with marital interaction. Today, we have a great topic for discussion along with our guests, Elder Darrick and First Lady McGhee of Bible-Based Church, Tallahassee, Florida. How are you both doing today?
I'm great.
Doing good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, cell phones.
Yes, Lord.
Are compact devices that have many functions and distractions. So, when we are not careful, because things are that close to our fingertips, having the ability to talk, to text, to check emails, to play games, to search the internet, and to be on all social media platforms, something is bound to become addictive. So today we want to discuss how phones can interfere with marital interactions and how we can prevent these interactions. From the beginning of the cell phones, we were only concerned with one function: to push OK and say hello. Now, because of its advancement, it has so many different distractions. Though it has many pros, what would you consider to be some cons for the cell phone now?
The cell phone with your spouse disrupts conversation because you're so focused on your phone. Like, I know I can be guilty. I'm gonna go ahead and confess now. And most of mine is because I do life lessons with Lady T. Sometimes I'm typing, so if I get an idea or a thought, I'll type it and type it out. But I'm guilty. Most of mine is scrolling on social media and shopping on my phone, on my app. Yes, you can shop on apps. Yes, I'm guilty.
I'm getting better, right? I'm not gonna say I'm getting better. I used to be really, really bad, right? I'm getting better, and I think it's a couple of things too. And I think number one is the phone allows you to zone out, intentionally or unintentionally, right? You just zone out, right? Your plans. I'm gonna look at something for like 5 minutes, end up being hours later. I think also what happens is you find yourself comparing, right? And that comparison becomes detrimental, right? You may see someone doing something or things of that nature. Now you start comparing your life to somebody else's life, all because of what you witnessed. And that phone becomes that device that becomes a major issue. And, we've come a long way in how we handle our phones. Still got ways to go, but you come a long way in those regards. But phones are there got to be rules put in place. I know that people like to hear the word rules. There got to be rules put in place because it can become very detrimental to what is going on to your marriage and your future of your marriage.
I can say that's like Takia. I'm a work in progress, and I did not realize how much grabbing that rascal I was doing. Until it was brought to my attention that was something that I was doing. And I've gotten a little better. I'm still a work in progress. Trying to get there such that I don't grab it. Sometimes I've gone into a restaurant and I'm gonna leave this phone in there. I'm not gonna take it with me. But it's hard. It's like an addiction.
Yes, that's good.
It is.
And it'll pull you in to the point where You just stay, and God knows, what happens to us if we misplace, but I get to the point where I don't have to grab it all the time. I can just lay it down and leave it and tend to other things that I'm doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think a major con for me is the algorithms, because those can be negative ones. They may be positive, they may be funny, but whatever. But I think the negative ones are the ones that affect you personally. You buy into what you are looking at. You really don't even know if what you're watching has ever happened, or is it real? Somebody could have said, let's just go on the side of the road and make a video. You don't know, but you watched it and you allowed yourself to get angry about it. To me, that's not good for you as a person, that you are now starting to harbor anger because of something that you watched on your cell phone that may or may not even be true. You didn't read it anywhere. You didn't see it on the news. You just saw it it's a TikTok. I also feel that when we are within family time, that we have to be careful about anything. And the one thing that catches our attention, because we've been I know people use their cell phone for work purposes. They check their emails and all of this stuff. And we have coworkers that might in the middle of the day say, hey, can you come to my office? I need to talk to you. And they send you a text. Got it. But being able to put that little device down when the family is around.
Yeah.
We lose so much time with family because of that device.
Yeah.
We do. We lose time with just a landline. Now, you talk about a landline. A lot of these people, they only know cell phones. They don't know a landline.
That's so very true.
Their landline is on their hip. Always. It's always in a finger reach.
Yeah.
So that's my thing about the cell phone. But I think that will take us into the second question, because some people never know when to turn the work mode off.
Oops.
Oh my.
So let's think about this. It's a Friday evening. You and your spouse are sitting down eating your favorite comfort food. And you and your family. And all of a sudden, you get a text from a coworker after hours. And they're saying that they need to speak to you with some work-related issue. How you going to handle that?
Ooh, that's so good.
Well,
who you going to respond to?
I'm going to defer to Darrick, because when I leave my job, I am gone. When I'm on vacation, the laptop stays at the job. I don't have a job that has a cell phone attached to my hip, so I don't know how that works. But when I'm gone from my job, I'm gone. Like I've clocked out for the day.
So, I'll tell you. So again, talking about gotten better. I used to be the one where when I traveled, laptop went, iPad, phone. We're at the beach. I got the phone right next to me. Right. I'm sending texts, responding to texts, work related, but I'm supposed to be out. Right. So when I returned back to the office, I never really left because I was in that mode. And what I learned was I would observe my other colleagues who did go on vacation, where they would go wherever they went. And you hear from them really the whole time they were gone. And I realized the first thing was it was me. Right. I was convincing myself that I need to respond to everything within a certain time frame because the shop can't run without me being there. And then secondly, I realized as a result of number one, number two is you train people not to respect your private time because you always avail yourself to every call. And most of the time when they want you on the phone, there is no emergency, right? They just haven't made the attempt to go figure it out because they used to you always doing everything. And so you mentioned earlier, Ma, about invading family time. You're supposed to be spending time investing in and receiving from family. And now your family's making plans to go to dinner, for example. You all somewhere, give me 5 more minutes, give me 10 more minutes. I gotta take this call real quick. And it's not meaningful at all. And I've been because I operate in several spaces, I've made the mistake many times of that. So what I started doing is putting rules in place, right? I don't take preaching engagements on Friday unless my wife is in 100% agreement with it. Friday is family night, right? So at a certain time to shut this down. I've had to at times leave the phone behind or turn the phone completely off because of that. And then, but I had to realize that it was me, and he a few times had to check me like, hey, listen, like can we become a priority, or is that important? Like you mentioned, Pop, sometimes you don't realize that you're how addictive you are to your phone and what that looks like. But I've trained people where, hey, my personal time with my family is not that important. Call whenever you want to call. And so when they call, now I'm expecting her to be okay with it, when it's to be the other way around. And hey, no, listen, don't call me during this time, Frank. This is my time with my family. Even when we do lunch on Fridays, I used to come to our lunch on Fridays, be sitting there at lunch with Kia, still on my phone, texting people. And I'm telling everybody, me and Kia just had lunch together. We had no conversation the whole lunchtime. I was on my phone the whole time. And one time she actually texted me at the table together at lunch and was like, hey, when you decide that you want to talk to me, I'm sitting right here. And we had lunch together. I was so into my phone, and that's when I was like, man, like this is not a good situation. I just left the office, wasn't gone 10 minutes, and I'm on a work matter, but supposed to be at lunch with her. And I realized, like, it's you really have to back up and realize what you're doing with this thing in your hand, how addictive it is, and that you keep trying to convince yourself, I have to do this. My family eats off me doing this, when it's actually interfering with family, and it's causing situations that need to be resolved. And it's not fair to make your spouse have to understand that you're making them secondary to something else.
Because you're trying to save everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And that's not even your job anyway. That's God's job.
Yeah. Very true.
I like the way you said train.
Yeah.
You have to train people how to respect your time.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they will take advantage of it and see nothing wrong with interfering. Oh, just take Darrick. He'll get back with you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I can say like here, when I leave work, I try to leave work there.
Yeah.
And when I come home, really, I really don't like receiving calls, period.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm trying to train myself now not to pick it up, to be going through, what I go through. But I don't want to talk.
Come on now. Lord have mercy.
You don't want to talk to who?
To anybody who's calling me.
Well, but see, when you pick up your phone, it's almost like you don't want to talk to me.
Right.
That's true too.
That's true. That's true.
If I say to you, what did I just say? You know what your response is?
I know what you just said.
I heard you.
Yep, that's me.
What did I say? Tell me what did I say?
Or I'll say, you know what you said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but as far as receiving calls, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to anybody. I've had a long day, and let me just now, if I could just train myself with this phone, put it down, and focus on the time, just sitting and sharing with each other rather than going through it like I go through it. If I can do that, I'm fine. But as far listen, you can depend on me. I ain't gonna call you because I ain't got nothing to talk about. Once I get home. So I just want that time to be able to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you think couples can protect their marital interactions from being interfered by the cell phone? And I think you alluded to that earlier about setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even to the point where you're getting ready to go to bed, and one spouse is still up and the other spouse wants to go to sleep. Like, hello, the light from the cell phone is bothering me. So, like, you gonna keep scrolling, or you gonna turn it off? Like, it can even interfere with intimacy, right? Because you're so busy on your phone and you're so worried about what such and such is doing or what is going on in the world that you're not even your spouse trying to tap on you. Hey, but you on your phone.
Yeah. One thing I think about too is, and this is, I'll say this to husbands, is God has put in your wife what is needed to feed you and fuel you. And what we do is, we're not even realizing, and sometimes unconsciously, is that we've put more expectation into our phone to do for us what our spouse is supposed to do for us, right? It's like sometimes simple conversation. If you work a hustle and bustle job and you come home and you're trying to unwind, sometimes that simple conversation of someone who cares about you gets replaced because just give me 30 minutes. Just give me 30 minutes on my phone. Right. And all of a sudden now that becomes where you go to get filled up, and then your spouse is sitting there and it becomes competitive, right? And all of a sudden now, for me, I know there were times where I would come home and I don't left the office. I'm still on a phone call. I done pulled in the driveway. I'm on a phone call. I done came to the house on that same phone call. Everybody waiting to do something. They're waiting on me. I'm on that same phone call. And the person on the phone, I done told them, hey, I'm at home now. They're still talking. I'm still talking. And, it's putting boundaries in place of, there need to be no cell phone zones. Like when the storm hit one time and we had no Wi-Fi, our kids went ballistic, right? Because they're asking themselves, what was the world without Wi-Fi, right? Same thing with the phone. When you start thinking about you are replacing just good, comfortable conversation with the need to be on. And a lot of times you look at people's profiles, some of the stuff they're telling you ain't true, but you become so consumed by that to where your spouse or whomever is no longer even able to even hold a conversation with you because you're so distracted. And that's what an addiction is, though. Addiction is that, right? It's pulling at you. And so I would caution all of us, including myself, of being mindful that, there's a reason why God blessed you with that person that you're married to. And there's something God put in them to help you get perspective, get peace. And it's not going to ever come in that device, but we go to that device first. We reach for that phone. We wake up in the morning. What if I missed the night before?
Yeah,
rules and boundaries set at certain time. The phones go on the chargers.
Yeah.
Some people don't even bring their phones in the bedroom.
Yeah,
because it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Well, now I bring mine in. When you have elderly parents,
yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
that phone needs to be in that. There's some people who believe in turning their phone off, letting their phone go off at 9 p.m. and it doesn't come back on until 8 o'clock. Is that a good move? I don't know. To each his own. That's not a good move for me.
Yeah, correct.
Because I know that emergencies come in the middle of the night.
Very true.
That's when they come.
Very true.
And so you have cut yourself off. No one has no means of getting in contact with you. Here again, you are set. You're supposed to be setting boundaries for others.
Yeah.
Okay. If you say, do me a favor, I wouldn't be offended if you said, don't call me after 9.
Yeah.
Bottom line, don't call me after 9, because chances are I may be asleep between 9 and 9:30. If I'm in the bed, I'm gonna drop off.
Yeah.
And you call me and wake me up and you tell me, girl, did you see that on TV? I'm wide awake now. But I need my phone on, but I'm gonna tell you, don't call me after 9.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in such restrictions that you're cutting yourself off from the world. You got a family member in the hospital, and the hospital is trying to reach you. But you got your phone on do not disturb from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. Okay? So this is what I say. I think that we should pay attention to the environment and let the environment dictate our behavior, how we handle things. If we're at a movie, if we're at the movies to see a movie, let's be there to see the movie. Let's not one of us picking up our phone, scrolling like they bored at the meeting. This is supposed to be our time. So we ought to be sharing popcorn and sipping out the same cup. together.
That's good.
If we watch a movie at home, we ought to be cuddled. We ought to not be scrolling on to see, oh, here come one of my favorite algorithms coming down. I got to and you know what happens? Listen to this, Kia. Know what happens? You're watching the movie, and all of a sudden, what happens? The phone volume goes up.
Yeah.
And now you hear pop, 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 pop. And like, what we gonna do? We're gonna watch the movie, or we're gonna listen to your phone?
Lord have mercy.
Put it on silent. Put it on silent. Put it on silent.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
If we are riding down the road in the car and we're having a quiet conversation, no radio, we're just talking, and one phone rings, the only thing I say is, if you're in a position, text the person back and say, hey, let me call you back.
Yeah.
Because we having a conversation now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Well, my thing is, again, if it comes when I'm at home, I choose to go to voicemail.
Yeah.
You can't leave one.
And if they can't leave, one, they catch me when they catch me.
They catch me. Yeah.
You know, right now I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
So either leave me a voicemail, or you better say 911. But that's the only thing.
So they better text you, and it better be 911.
It's not 911. See you tomorrow.
That's a good point.
And I know we now sleep with, I know before I didn't sleep with my volume on, but because our son is not physically in the house with us,
Gotcha.
I now sleep with it on.
Yeah.
So just in case something could happen, like you said, in the middle of the night, that somebody's phone will go off and not be on D&D.
Gotcha.
And so many people
petty.
phones that are on D&D know, like,
He's
for
so
real
petty
though.
right now. He's so petty right now. So my phone usually is on D&D. That's what she trying. She ain't gonna just say it. That's really what she's trying to say. My phone usually on do not.
You got a lot of D&Ds. I'm driving right now.
See, it's funny though. What's interesting is the thing that come from my phone. My kids put it on there because I used to be in the car on the phone with them.
Wow.
I'm driving. I'm texting. So they started getting my phone. They would put things on there, and I wouldn't know what's on there. Somebody say, "Well," I'm like, "What you talking about?" And I realized they got automatic replies to people when they try to call me. And so if I'm in a car now, unless you're in my favorites, it goes right to voicemail because my kids did that because I would take them to school and trying to engage in conversation with me. I'm on a work call.
Right.
Like, okay, we're gonna fix this. And again, not even realizing I was doing it so much. They realized I was doing it. Right. And okay, no, enough is enough. And so so people calling you 7 o'clock in the morning, they know you're gonna answer the phone. Right. So I'm missing family prayer time, whatever it may be. And so
Like, sir, really?
I'm getting better.
Smart children.
I'm seeking help for my disorder.
And you know what? And you're absolutely right. It is a disorder. It's
a disorder, man. Yeah,
it's a disorder.
Yeah.
That we're in continuous working to work that thing out because it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll close with this question. When we make choices, sorry about that, to answer or use our phone during quality time, what is the message that we're sending to our spouse?
You're not my priority.
You're boring.
Hello?
Yeah. You're boring.
I'm not totally into what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm a little distracted. I'm thinking of other things I do right now rather than sitting here, sitting next to you.
Yeah. But bottom line, what you're really saying is sorry, but this call takes precedence over you. And it should not. It should not.
Only, like I say, unless it's an emergency at 911.
And I'm telling you, people can call you and say, hey, turn to ABC, turn to BET. So, and I'm like, I'm watching something else.
Yeah.
I'm watching something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to have to come back on for me to see it. I can't turn from what I'm watching.
Exactly. Exactly. And if it's on BET, you will see it again about 15 more
Believe
times.
me,
So it's
you'll
all
see it again.
Yes.
you're gonna see it again. So
And, I was telling Danny today, I said, we were watching, Danny loves to watch In the Heat of the Night.
Yes, I do.
And so, sometimes, oh Lord, that's you too?
I used to be like that. I hate so much all the time. That and Matlock. That's all the time.
Yes, that's my
All the
second.
time. All the time.
So I know you're gonna get into the female Matlock.
I mean, that's the plan.
So anyway, I told Danny the other day we were watching In the Heat of the Night. And a lot of times, I'll go to the room and I'm watching TV. He'll say, what you watching? And I'll say, well, I'm watching such and such, but you can come on. And I'll let him turn to In the Heat of the Night and I'll watch it. That's our time, we watching the same thing. And so I told him this morning, I said, you're not gonna believe this. I said, but Bounce must have turned their replay on, because that thing we saw the other night was on this morning. And they just revolving, going round and round and round. It wasn't going to the next episode. They played 3 episodes and they just kept replaying. And I was like, I ain't gonna watch you again. I just seen you, and I probably seen you 10 times before.
I'll go back and watch it just in case there was something that I missed.
I will tell you, the people for the phone. So on some phones, like you're allowed to set timers, right? Like you say, I only want to do 1 hour of social media, and that encompasses every social media site. Only 1 hour. With that 1 hour, your phone will then come up and basically it'll automatically go dark, whatever it may be, and you have to basically hit a button to go back in. And I found myself at times literally like overriding the timer, and that's when I realized you're on there too much now. When you put your own timer on to discipline yourself, and you're overriding your own timer, that's when you realize like, oh, this has become too much. And again, it's nothing that's evasive or that's outside of your marriage as far as disrespect. It's just the realization of how addictive it has become, right? And then simple conversation can't be had because give me 5 more minutes, whatever it may be. And you got to be careful, especially when everything you do professionally is also through your phone. Like you have to have some level of accountability, because if not, the things that are the most important to you will find themselves being ignored or being put to the side, because these matters are so pressing, they're so important, and they really are not. They really are not.
Yeah.
And even iPhone users, I know on Sundays I get a weekly report, and it'll tell you how long you've been on certain sites or certain apps. It will tell you your phone time increased this week, your phone time decreased this week. So Apple iPhone users are aware of how much they're on their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they know how to utilize that, because I don't.
No, it sends me a message. It pops up on my phone as it comes through like a message.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just a reminder of how bad off you are. That's really what it is. It's telling you got to do better.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah. You almost weighing way too much. Yeah. Very true.
Well, we are at that part of the day where we will close our segment and let you know how to get in contact with us. You can email us at Danny and Rhoda Whitfield 2016 @gmail.com, or you can inbox us on Facebook, Marriage Takes Work, or Danny and Rhoda Whitfield on Facebook. Check out our link tree above with further information about Marriage Takes Work. If your family or friends miss a segment, they can go back and watch on Danny and Rhoda Whitfield or Marriage Takes Work.
So it's our prayer that you've gained some nuggets today to apply to your marriage. So please do us a favor and share this broadcast with your friends, married and single. And remember to turn to each other, not on each other. With that being said, we'd like to thank our special guests, Elder Darrick and First Lady Takia McGhee, for joining us here on Marriage Takes Work. And we remind you, our viewing audience, to love hard.
Amen.
And work that marriage.
Right.
Thank you for tuning in with us today. Now, don't forget to join us next week for another segment of Marriage Takes Work. Until then, keep this in mind. You can only reap what you have sown. So love hard to nurture and work your marriage.